Was ice of the International Hockey League, but I said about right here many years ago when the Indiana Pacers won one of 3 ABA championships. And very soon today, these seats will fill up and this quiet will be shattered by perhaps the most powerful vehicle in all of motorsports, the 7,200-pound multi-engine tractors. And with more on that, here's my colleague, Army Armstrong.
Gary Lee, you are exactly right. And not only are these the most powerful vehicles we've ever had a chance to work with, they got to be the loudest, and everybody around here is waiting to hear that noise. They want to hear that rumble. Why? Because this is the first big event of the year, and cabin fever is running rampant. These drivers have had about 2 months off. They've been thinking, trying to figure out how to get the horsepower to work. Who's going to be the big guy when we roll into Indianapolis? We're going to be finding that out today. A bunch of new drivers trying to make a name for themselves on television in the first big event of the year. Who's going to make the big noise in Indy? Stay tuned. We're going to be finding that out next.
And Army Armstrong, there is standard issue here at the Fairgrounds Coliseum, Indiana State Fairgrounds. We're in Indianapolis for the Indy Super Pull. Tonight, it is 7,200-pound modified action.
And Gary, this is one of the most popular classes in this sport. You know, this is a unique motorsport because the classes are determined solely by weight. What we're looking at here is an engine combination of 4 engines, 2 of them running crank to crank, 2 of them side by side. The 72 modified are going to be going on a 230-foot class, and they're going to be pulling a sled that weighs 50,000 pounds. That's about the weight of a 3-bedroom home.
But once again, it's the weight. The tractor cannot weigh more than 7,200 pounds, as many engines, as much horsepower as possible. And now hooking up to that sled is Dave Carlton, the Virginia farmer out of Little Plymouth, Virginia, and he is sporting 4 Rodex. Can you imagine the horsepower being developed here? But once again, as much as you possibly can develop, because it's the weight of the tractor. It cannot go over 7,200 pounds.
Gary, there's another weight involved, that being the sled. It weighs 50,000 pounds and progressively gets heavier as it goes down the track. Now, the Diamond P onboard camera is going to let you actually take a ride, and you can see the driver working that steering wheel back and forth. It's a war for 230 feet indoors, isn't it, Gary?
And that sled cam puts you right in the trenches of that war. There's the distance, 2:10.7 for Dave Carlton, the Virginia farmer, as we take a look at the run again.
Now, this is a unique sport because the further you go, the tougher it is on equipment. He's got 1 engine already going away. He's got a timing problem on the engine on the right. But at the very end of the run, in the last 2 or 3 feet, I want you to watch the front motor. It goes away on him right there. He blew a supercharger. Yeah, exactly. So the last 6 inches was just muscled by 2 engines, not 4.
And here's a look at Wild Rose. This is Ricky Rose, and once again, he is sporting 4 Rodex engines. Look at him pump the brakes there, Army.
Well, the reason he does that, as you well know, once you get the front end off the ground, the steering wheel is basically useless. Ricky is trying to load the chassis, if you will, to get ready to make his run. Now, the distance to beat is 2:10.7. Basically, he has the same engine horsepower as the man in front of him. They're set up different. There we go. The steering is actually no good at this point in time. He's actually steering the vehicle with his feet, with brakes. Lays down a good run, Gary.
4 Rodex, total value about $120,000, 2:04.5. The distance for Ricky Rose. Once again from the sled cam, here's how it looks. Now watch, he can steer it with the wheel until the front end gets airborne. Then he has to use the brakes.
Okay, at this time, he's like walking on ice. He's tippy-toeing. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, and it's going straight down the track. I say straight. Not exactly straight, is it, Gary?
He's between the white lines. That's what counts.
That's what counts, exactly.
All right, here's a lady who has a lot of home state support because she is from Fort Wayne, Indiana, in the northern portion of the state, and this is Judy Nipstein. She is sporting 4 Chevrolets out of Fort Wayne, Indiana.
You know, it's kind of unique to see a young, petite lady involved in this sport, but she is definitely a player. I had a chance to see her the first time she drove a modified tractor about 2 or 3 years ago. A lot of people says, I don't know. She has made a believer out of every one of them. It's a family ordeal. Her daughter on the right, husband on the left, and here she goes. Oh, wheels up run. Looks good, Gary.
Yes, she does. She takes it out of here. There is Lynn, her husband and crew chief, her daughter Jody. They're ecstatic. Our first full pull of the evening here at the State Fairgrounds Coliseum in Indianapolis.
And Gary, that changes the complexity of the whole sport because no longer can one run win it.
Well, Judy is king of the hill right now, and she has to endure 8 more pulls. It may be a long evening. She has the front end up in the air under the horsepower, using the brake to steer it. but she has the full pull, 230 feet, and she's standing by with Army Armstrong.
She came over and said, "I'm so happy. I think actions speak louder than words. We can tell you're happy. We can also tell you've turned these guys around here. It's going to be tough to beat you tonight."
I hope it is tough to beat.
A lot of hard work. It's got to make you feel super.
Yeah, we feel great because we have been working very hard, especially my husband. He's been really wrenching hard to get it just right.
Well, he did his...
Just right, I think.
He did his job and you did yours. Let's see if you can stay there.
Yeah, I hope it's a good combination. Thanks.
Well, you still have 8 guys. That's guys yet to pull, and one is the Hartwick Raider. Coming up next, this is Dwayne Hodling out of Hartwick, New York. He once again sporting 4 Chevrolets, but now they have something to shoot for. The standard has been set, Army.
Well, the standard's been set. They have to shoot for it. If you don't make a full pull, then you go on a trailer. The young lady wins. She's throwing the gauntlet down. We got to see if somebody's going to pick it up. 4 engines, about 1,500 horsepower apiece. He's going after her.
He's going to fall short, though, well short. So once again, you can see the weight across the front bar of the tractor. It's a case of checking out the track 210.7, and that's the same distance that we had by our first pull of Dave Carlton. So we've had 2 identical pulls as we take a ride with the sled cam.
What's so unique about this sport? Just because of the massive horsepower, it's hard to believe it is actually a sport of finesse, of balance. You got to get the proper weight on your vehicle. The weight's coming up on the sled. It's almost like a ballerina ice skate.
Well, it's still a case of reading the racetrack, as we see in so many types of motorsports. Midgets, sprints,
Exactly.
motorcycles, you have to read the track.
5 counts put you out of the ballpark in a heartbeat.
Well, we connect the sled now to Woody Woodward in the Super Chevy tractor. Once again, this is the 7,200-pound modified class, 230 feet, representing a full pull. Only one person has done it, Judy Nipstein from Fort Wayne, Indiana. You can just feel this entire building shake and rock as they apply the throttle, and he almost goes out of bounds.
It's a
Just shy.
Definitely a rolling thunder show. The torque of the engines was turning the chassis. You notice the left front wheel was just picking it up and tippy-toeing down the track. He had his weight, I would say, just about perfect. The replay should show you. Watch the front wheel on the right of your screen now. It should pull up. The other one, there you see, perfect balance. And he only has 3 little weights on the front.
Army, look at this shot right here. He comes very close to getting disqualified by going out of bounds.
You're exactly right, Gary. Like in any sport, out of bounds is determined by the white line. Now, the dirt deflector did go out of bounds, but in this sport, the tractor or the sled has to go out. So he made a clean run.
It was a good run, but not long enough. It's going to take a full pull to go into a pull-off, because Judy Nipstein out of Fort Wayne, Indiana has the full pull. Woody Woodward is second, and Dwayne Hodling is now third in the Hartwick Raider. As we take a look at empty pockets, and this is Dan Gertie firing up his Hemis. His pull is coming up next. Stay with us.